All right, good Monday morning. We are here. It's another week. Welcome in. If you're coming in here, make sure you hit that thumbs up button for me, and please share this out. So today's Reset Monday, get that in there. Okay. All right. So welcome to another Monday. As a reminder, this is your opportunity to reset from the week. This particular show was born about 3.5 years ago out of the necessity for helping people get off of the roller coaster of yearly resolutions. So I want you to be able to have a place where you can come and reset from the week. Weekends come, you might go to parties, you might, maybe you got lazy or it was raining, you didn't feel like going out, you didn't exercise, you weren't eating well, maybe you had a disruption with a coworker at work. So mind, body, soul, what are all the things that we can reset on a weekly basis, not a yearly basis, but a weekly basis, and then take the information from today and be able to take that throughout your week so that you can be setting and resetting on a daily basis. So hold on one second here. All right. So today's topic, we have to talk about detox because there are so many. I'm getting so many questions about what are the right foods to eat, what foods make me sick, what foods make me healthy, what supplements should I be taking for detox, that list goes on and on. And so one of the things that I recognized is that even though I have these conversations on what seems to be a regular basis, I still have people asking me questions that makes me go, maybe they didn't hear the message the first time, which is okay. That's why I say things over and over, because sometimes the first time you hear something, you don't particularly pay attention to it. There's one of my favorite sayings is, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. So that's really what this is about, is I will give you these messages of health and wellness over and over again so that you then have the opportunity, when you're ready, when your mind is ready to hear the message, that you will be able to hear the message and then implement the message. So detoxing is critical in our world. And when we talk about detoxes, there's so many different ways that we can look at this. So I think probably the most common misconception is that if you are not having a bowel movement every day, that you're not detoxing. Now, that is true. And when I say it's a misconception, it only is part of the picture. So it's a very small part of the picture. So that is our ultimate goal, is to get the body eliminating regularly throughout the day. So 2, 3, 4 bowel movements in a day. So how do we get there? So our detox systems go far beyond the gut. And I want to walk you through the scenario of what happens in our daily life. So when we get up in the morning, we go and we brush our teeth, and we're probably using toothpaste with fluoride and other toxic chemicals in it. And then we, wash our face, what's in that soap, and then our body care products we get in the shower, shampoos, conditioners, soaps, lotions, makeup. The average woman exposes her body to over 200 chemicals every single day just in body care products. And a lot of the chemicals that are in these personal care products are banned in other countries. So the first thing is, you put these things on your body. We'll talk about oral in a second, but you put things on your body, and your skin is a detoxifying organ. Your skin is the largest detoxifying organ that you have. So when you put something on your skin, it's designed to, okay, this thing is toxic. So sunscreen, we're going to talk about sunscreen because we're coming into the summer. We're going to talk about that in a future episode. However, we have to be able to recognize that even just our daily soaps and lotions are doing this. Good morning, Bohemian. Nice to have you here. Thank you so much for being here. Please hit that thumbs up button. And yes, this is like, and we'll go deeper. I've gone deeper before, but I'll do a Sunday night live on this as well, so we can really take a deep dive and get questions answered. So our skin, first line of defense, and there's mechanisms inside the skin that start that detoxification process. Now, also as you put things on your skin and things get absorbed into the system, there's detoxifying mechanisms that will carry those chemicals through the body. So, through the blood, to the liver, to the kidneys. There's other mechanisms of detoxification. Likewise, if things come out of the skin, so you sweat out toxins. When you sweat, it's really important that you shower after, you wipe off that sweat, because those toxins will come out, and then you've got to get them off of the skin so they don't reabsorb back in. Skin is a critical mechanism of detoxification. And if you're someone, you say, I don't sweat, we have a problem. There's a problem with the thermal regulation in your body, that you're not able to get these toxins out through the skin. So we have chemicals going in, we have toxins coming out. If you have rashes, eczema, anything like that, that is any kind of skin something, your body is trying to expel toxins out of it. So pay attention to that. Acne is another big one. You get acne. I have young women that come to see me and they've got terrible, terrible acne, and their doctors want them to go on Accutane, which is a horribly dangerous drug. It causes infertility. It causes massive inflammatory issues in the gut. It wipes out the gut bacteria. It is a nasty, nasty drug. And I promise you that you are not deficient in Accutane if you have terrible acne. Hey, Garden State, how are you, Joe? Joe's sweating at work right now. We had a great conversation on Joe's channel last night. So always appreciate you inviting me on. Thank you so much. And go over and support Joe's channel. He's really trying to expand Garden State Gardener. He's doing a great job on Grow Big TV, but we're working to focus on Garden State right now. So think about that with skin. Now, then we take things into our mouth. Take things into the mouth, and that goes into the digestive tract. The digestive tract does a really good job of taking those toxins and putting them into the proper areas of the body in order to then get rid of them from the inside. So that means your liver, your kidneys, your lymphatic system. We don't talk enough about the lymphatic system. The lymphatic system is, hey, Kenny, how's it going? The lymphatic system is like the garbage disposal of your body. So you take these toxins in, and they have to go into certain places in order to get out of your body. Now, so we have skin, we have kidney, liver, lymphatic, and breath. Okay, so expelling toxins through respiration. So this is why we like you to exercise and move and get your heart rate up, because when you breathe and you can expel through breath, you're also going to be eliminating toxins. So we have all these beautiful systems within our body that help our bodies to get rid of the toxins. So that brings me to the question, why do we need to detox? I always recommend at least a couple of times a year. Personally, I take some type of detox powder on an almost daily basis. And the reason is because we have the exposure. And you all have heard me say this so many times before. Our toxic exposure is beyond nothing we've ever seen before. Our bodies are not capable of eliminating everything that we're exposed to. Like I said, average woman exposes herself to over 200 toxic chemicals every single morning, every morning. And that gets a compounded effect. So now if you aren't having a bowel movement, if you're someone who doesn't sweat, if you have any type of autoimmune issue whatsoever, that is a clear sign that your body's not doing what it needs to do. It's not detoxifying. It's not getting things moving through the system. Bentley scratching. I was on Joe's channel last night, and he decided to come in and eat his kibble and drink his water really loudly. Everybody say hi to Bentley. So where was I? So if you have any kind of, anything when it comes to health, so if you're on medication for anything, if you have any kind of autoimmune issue, I always point you to the thyroid. So many people don't, I would say probably thyroid and blood pressure are two big ones because we medicate for those. So what we're doing is we're normalizing these chronic health diseases because we can medicate them and regulate them through medication. That does not make it normal, and it does not mean that you don't have a problem, an underlying problem that is brewing under the surface. Yeah, Bentley, I know, we hear you. So cute. So paying attention to the things that are brewing under the surface. Movement is a big one. Joe's probably got his workout done already. He goes to the gym every day at 5 a.m. God bless you, Joe. I did that for many years ago. And so I make sure I get my workouts in, but fortunately my schedule has it that I don't need to get up at 5 a.m. anymore. So I'm super grateful for that. But if you need to, get it done. The human body, crazy phenomenal relearning what used to be common knowledge. So beyond wonderful. It is relearning, because one of the messages, I listen to a lot of podcasts. I listen to a lot of experts in the health and wellness space. And then I'm also listening to my patients. And so when I hear things that my patients are talking about, then I go out and I gather information from other sources and resources. And what I found is, this is always something that I've talked about for many years, is the confusion around health and wellness. And I think there's a plan there, right? I don't mean to sound sinister, but there's a plan. If the people who control the food and the environment, your nutritional status, your groceries, if the people, companies, organizations, corporations, if they can confuse you just enough, just a little bit, then it's confuse, and then give you a message that will lead you into a place that will then share in the profits. So yes. Hi, Andrea. Nice to see you. It is done on purpose. It is so done on purpose. Look what happened through the pandemic. That was a shit show of confusion designed to get people to line up to do exactly what they wanted you to do. So pay attention. When you are confused, just take a deep breath. Just stop, take a deep breath, and come over to this channel and say, what in the heck is going on? Yes, you need to be able to ask questions through the confusion. It's like, wait a minute, why is that? Is beef bad? Is grass-fed beef bad? Are eggs bad? What's the confusing part? And I have, different thoughts on that too, different resources, but always organic, always grass-fed, always pastured. Stay away from the conventional things. So as we're going through this process, we are bombarded with toxicity through our environment. And I keep telling this story. Andrew, you will love this story because I tell it on a regular basis. And it's about this little boy that I'm treating. And we tested him for glyphosate. I told this story last night on the show. He's like at 80%, it should be 0, glyphosate toxicity. He's 4. And his mom is like, we raise chickens, we eat organic. How can this be? This is part of the problem, is these forever chemicals, unfortunately, were probably in the mom and got passed to the baby. And so that is frustrating as a mom who's trying to do the right thing for her kids. And so I'm super grateful for her that she is actually like taking the reins and making those changes and not succumbing to the corruption of the food industry. But now now her education's going to go, she's going to teach her kids a whole different level of health and wellness. And so hopefully we can start to decrease it, but it is all around us. So we have to pay attention and understand that, when people are like, you don't need supplements and you don't need to detox, you just need to eat healthy foods. And it's actually, unfortunately, not true. We need our supplements. Our soils are depleted. Joe talks about this over at Grow Big TV and on Garden State Gardener, the health of the soil. I've talked about that. Our soils are so depleted. They're like dead. It's like dead soils. So we have to, again, pay attention, amend your own soil, make your own soil, grow your own food. And if you can't, seek out local farms who can, or maybe your neighbor's got a big piece of property and you're like, hey, can I grow some stuff over there? And yes, my hair's a little bit lighter, Kenny. What do you think? I just had it done last week. A little something for the summer. And it is so sad, Joe, because again, we're trying to, my message is always leave a legacy of health for your kids. And so our kids, for the first time ever, the next generation behind us has a lower lifespan than our generation. And I talked about this last week. So we're killing ourselves slowly. It is a slow and steady death of our population. Fertility rates are down by I think it's 30 to 40%. Sperm rates are down by 50% over the last 50 years. We have wreaked havoc on ourselves as a population, and it is time we take that back. So, oh, wow, that's awesome. Roundup commercial, every break in the Cubs game last night. And I don't understand, as toxic as Roundup is, how it is still being able to be sold to the public. My guess is they make so much money in profits that what they pay out in claims for Roundup toxicity, glyphosate toxicity, they probably what they pay out in claims is probably far overshadowed by what they make in profit. So it is really crazy. They're next door. I pulled in this morning, and there's a guy over there, Mosquito Joe, and he goes and he sprays in the backyard at the winery to knock down the mosquitoes. So, people are spraying toxic chemicals all over the place. And I've been there in the middle of the summer. It doesn't help. I mean, I don't know. There's not necessarily less mosquitoes. You could put up some fans, you could put up, essential oils, you can mist essential oils. There's natural ways to do that. We don't need to be spraying chemicals everywhere we go. And thanks, Bill, for stopping in. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Kenny. I appreciate you for sure. Surround yourself with wise, caring folks for sure. This is building your tribe. Definitely building your tribe, and finding groups, moms groups, family groups, crunchy groups, gardening groups, whatever it is that is going to help you to have a group of people, like-minded people who will share in your desire to live a healthy life and raise your kids that way. And the other thing too with gardening is that, if you can get people in your neighborhood, let's say you live in a subdivision, like me. Now, I have an opportunity to grow a pretty large garden, but it would be great if we had, like, let's say, somebody down the street had more land, more property. They wanted to grow watermelons. And then I'm going to grow tomatoes and peppers, and somebody else is going to grow melons or, berries. I don't know, pick something. But wouldn't it be great if you had a neighborhood co-op of people growing organic food, and then you just swapped the food, right? You just shared and swapped the food. I always, love that thought of creating that kind of a community, not necessarily a community garden, but a community of people with gardens that will share in the fruits of all their labor. And then not one person has to grow all the things. Now we just switch it up, or, you just go into your neighbor's garden. I need a watermelon for tonight. I'm going to go pick that. Right. So yeah, it is so sad for sure. And let me go back there. There's actual corporate calculation for what the profits versus lawsuit. Is that what you're talking about? Because I'm sure, and that's actually how the drug companies work too. They're like, well, we know that this drug is going to kill a certain percentage of people, but that's okay because we're going to, and that's going to cost us X, but we're going to make Y. So yeah, that's how they do the drugs, which is terrible, right? They know they're going to kill people, and especially this nonsense of safe and effective. There's no drug that is safe and effective, zero. So don't listen to that. Don't buy into that narrative. Yes, crunchy groups. So Kenny, people who are crunchy, they call us, like granola. Like, I think that's where, like, hippie moms who did nothing but eat granola all day long, right? That's where that term crunchy came from. So yes, we're crunchy, and not like Captain Crunch. No. No, it's crunchy groups. Nope, you heard it correctly. Yep. I would excel in communal living. I would too. I think that would be really amazing. And as far as the activists, there are quite a few out there. I'm actually, in fact, thanks to you, Joe, I'm going to reach out on LinkedIn because there's a few that I need to try to get lined up on the show. They're big names in that space, the activism space. But hey, I'm gonna cast my net out there and see who I can bring in. And there are people who, there's the Food Babe. If you don't follow Food Babe, she's amazing. Callie Means, he used to work for Big Pharma, and he's now incredibly outspoken for what's happening in our food industry. And of course, Dr. Mark Hyman, he's been around for decades talking about our food system. So there's definitely people out there pushing it through. But it's kind of like, Joe, when you said last night, somebody you're having on your show has found a cure for colon cancer, but where's that information? That's not being made public. Nobody's shouting that from the rooftops because there's too much money to be made in cancer treatment, not cancer prevention, cancer treatment. Damage is paid out versus profit. Yep, same business model. Don't drink the Kool-Aid and just have fun. Yes. Yeah. Pay attention to the science and then question it. Science is definitely meant to be questioned. So I think that's a big problem too, when you have government officials saying, I am science. And if you're questioning the science, you're questioning me. And so if you know on that one. And so no, science is made to be questioned. This is how we progress through science. Okay. So, all right. So that, let me wrap this up for you guys. Pay attention to everything around you. Pay attention to making sure that you are managing and changing food habits. Just start with one thing at a time. On Joe's show last night, I said, if you just did for 7 days, you ate healthy, lean sources of protein. So chicken, grass-fed beef, so organic chicken, grass-fed beef, and fish. And then a salad, some kind of vegetable, olive oil, loaded up with tomatoes and peppers, And so make a nice salad, and, you could do some roasted vegetables if you wanted. And then maybe like just a tiny bit of, rice or potato, like a white potato, yellow potato is one of my favorites, or sweet potato. So tiny bit if you feel like you need the carbs. But if you went completely grain-free for 7 days and just did good lean protein and some good hearty vegetables, and if you fasted, you did some intermittent fasting around there, trying to like a 12 to 18 hour fast, depending on where you're at with that. You can't just go into intermittent fasting. Sometimes you need to just train your body for that. But if you did that, compressed your feeding window, so maybe you only ate for like 6 to 8 hours through the day, and shifted that up in the middle of the day. So let's say your eating window is 12 to 6. You're done eating after 6. Do that for 7 days. Your body will start to detoxify. You might start to notice acne on your face. You might start to notice some rashing of your skin. That actually is normal in the process of detoxing, because your body's trying to express the toxins. You might notice more bowel movements. Your body is expressing. You might notice you're urinating more. Your body is expressing. It is dumping those toxins. So start there with the food. We can always talk about detox plans. So I have a 10-day detox and a 28-day detox that I put my patients on, and I pair it with that food plan that I was just telling you about. So if we do both, oh my gosh, it's amazing. Break sugar cravings, you're sleeping better, your ability to focus and pay attention improves. Everybody's walking around with my ADD. Stop owning it, okay? Stop owning it. It is not yours. You need to get rid of it and tell it has no place in your life. When you say anything like that, I'm saying this with love, okay? I'm kind of mad because I hear it all the time. And I'm saying it with love because you need to hear the message. When you say my ADD, my fibromyalgia, my thyroid disease, you are owning that. Your brain, your neurology is owning that. It will never let it go. And the only way to get your body to release it is to mentally release it and do all of the things that will support releasing it. The only reason you say you have ADHD is because you have leaky gut, you have a poor diet, and maybe you have a decent, healthy diet, but maybe you have food allergies and food sensitivities that have gone undiagnosed and undetected. And we need to kill off some of that stuff strategically through supplementation, and then replenish it and replace it with all the good, healthy things. This is part of our biggest problem, is we can't just eliminate and then go, well, it didn't work, so I'm going to go back and I'm going to eat my crappy diet like I always was. No, maybe it's the water in your house. You have to test your body. So challenge it. Give it 7 days of just cleanliness and see how you feel. And then we can talk about what other things should we add in. I cannot out supplement a poor diet for you. So you can't out exercise a poor diet. It's got to come from daily habits all the time. I eat probably 90 to 95% pretty clean diet. And every once in a while, I was at yoga a couple of weeks ago, and it was somebody's birthday, and somebody brought in a couple of things of cupcakes. They were tiny cupcakes. They were vegan and organic. Now, organic sugar and sugar, like, what's the difference? But man, I'd just come out of a super hot yoga class, and I ate one, right? And I was like, I didn't feel bad. It was delicious. I savored. It was tiny. I savored that thing. I don't get sugar cravings, but that tasted so good. So when you are somebody who lives most of your life making the right choices, and then you do that, it's fine, you guys, it's fine. So I'm not saying that I just want you to flip what you're doing, right? So instead of living 80% with processed foods and fake butter and not exercising and not taking care of your body, mind, body, and soul, like, flip it. it's got to work the other way, getting proper rest. So that is, and stop claiming the stuff, right? So thanks, Bohemian. Yes, quit claiming it. Oh, I taught you that. Oh my gosh. I'm grateful. I'm grateful that you heard that message. And I'm so glad that you released that. And you know, there's ways too, when you just say, this has no place in my life anymore. I'm inviting you to leave. Like, you can talk to it, right? Mentally talk to it and just say, nope, because it'll creep into your head and you'll go, there's my ADHD again. You'll start to, you know, it'll creep in and they go, no, you don't belong here anymore. Talk to that shit and get it out of your life. Okay, so I hope that was helpful today. Understanding that detoxing is far more than lack of bowel movements. We have to take care of the rest of our body. And if you're not having bowel movements, it tells us that the rest of the body is not healthy either. So, it is this very circular, circular process. And if anybody needs help with any of that, by all means, reach out to me. We can test. In fact, I had somebody from Joe's show last night reach out to me that he wants to do a glyphosate test so we can test for Roundup. We can do gut testing, food sensitivity, food allergy testing, blood work, and we can do all that by sending you test kits and sending you to local labs around the country. So you don't need to be here to work with me, okay? All right, you guys, that is your Monday morning reset. So tomorrow, don't forget, tomorrow is Chiropractic is Sexy. I'm out of town this week, so I won't be able to be here on Thursdays. So Chiropractic is Sexy is coming to you tomorrow at 1:00, and that is up on the page. So make sure that you're looking at that. And then next Sunday, I won't be able to do a Sunday Q&A, but I don't know. Maybe I'll see if Dr. Erica wants to jump in and host that for me. We'll see. So maybe I'll have one. I don't know. I'm not taking it off the table yet. All right, you guys, have a hi, Outlier Gardener. Nice to see you here. Thanks for being here. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button on the way out, you guys. Share this. We're still growing, and I appreciate you showing up and being here to support me. All right, have an amazing week. Talk to you soon. Mwah.